There we go. Patrick, again, man, I really appreciate you coming on, man. It's an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
We were just talking about this because I cut my lip while I was shaving. Have you ever cut yourself shaving before, like a really important thing that you had to do?
You know what? I've never had that problem.
You
But
never.
no, but also like I have like, 10 fucking facial hairs. So
No, you got it. I like your mustache. You got a strong mustache going on.
thank you. I'm trying. I want to do a beard one day, but I just can't do it yet.
It's coming.
One
day
day
is coming. Yeah.
One day, when I'm grown up and 25 years old.
Yeah, it always sucks when you cut yourself doing it, because it's like the blood, there's so many blood vessels, I believe, is the issue, and then just keeps on just like bleeding and bleeding. But we're all human. We all go through stuff. Yeah.
It kind of looks punk too, like, if you're bleeding.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, oh, did he just get in a fight before this interview? Which is,
the answer is yes, and the answer is you won.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You should see the other guy. This is bottom lip, because that one's bleeding. That's yeah, it's always like, is it done bleeding? Like that's what I always deal with. It's like, is it done bleeding? Is it not? And we're gonna find out through the course of this interview.
By the end of the interview, it's just gonna be a red corner.
It's just gonna be. I got it right here, but luckily it actually stopped. It usually like gushes a lot before I stopped. It's like, oh, I think I cut myself, and then just immediately it just started like expanding. I was like,
yeah. It's like, oh yes, you did.
Yeah. I think that's 100% yes that I just did that. But it is what it is. But anyways, Patrick, enough about shaving and me cutting myself. This is about you. Anyways, when did you first get interested in music? Do you remember like the first spark of like, wow, I like music?
I don't know. I mean, I was introduced to it at a young age, like my mom always played music in the car when we were driving and stuff to work, or sorry, to school.
I was gonna say, man, you're getting after it.
Working at 5 years old.
I was down there in a factory. Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah. But she told me stories or my dad told me stories that she would listen to like classical music when I was in the womb, and like, put it against her womb so I could hear it and the vibrations and make me smart. Who knows if that worked, but I think I was put in the piano at like 5 years old, and I don't think I appreciated it until after the fact, when I was like in college or beyond. But I remember liking saxophone specifically when I started at like the 5th grade band. But it came, pretty easily, and I thought I was hot shit, which I was not. I quickly learned in college that I was not. But it was something fun, and I think I found a community in like band. I was like a band geek or nerd or whatever. And I think that also made it a lot of fun, the community that I had through that, in middle school and high school, college kind of, but even like post-college, I think like, the music scene in Los Angeles, the community is like super important, and, I really love it and try my best to like give back, when I can.
Yeah, it's super important. It seems like everybody that I've had on the podcast like knows everybody else, just because it's just such a within like LA musicians, like, yeah, I know that person, it's like it's all revolving around the same epicenter of just like music, whether it be
it's a small world, I think, and like, I've been in it for a long fucking time, and you see who else has been in it, just as long, and people who are lifers, as they say, so
yeah. It's always interesting, like, oh yeah, I saw you did like such and such, like, oh, you know that person, like that's always fun to find out. But was it mainly within music that you were practicing at a younger age, within like school settings of like school bands, and you said you went to college for it as well?
Yeah, it was mostly for that. I mean, I wanted to start a band of my own for a long time, and I think it didn't happen until like fucking the last years of high school. I was in like a fucking Led Zeppelin cover band at first, and I was like, it is what it is, but I think my first original band, or like of original music, was like at the end of high school and then into college, and yeah, it was super fun.
Were you playing saxophone in this Led Zeppelin cover band?
No, I was playing bass in this Led Zeppelin cover band because they needed a bass player, and I was like, "Fuck it, I want to be in a band so bad. I will play whatever. Like I will learn it. It'll be fine." Um, and so I did. Yeah.
Was that also enjoyable? I mean, it wasn't. I mean, making your own music, but was it just fun to be like, all right,
Yeah, totally. I think it was
playing the
like,
bass?
it was a really romanticized idea for me, since like fucking age 10. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fucking great. And it was fun.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's always fun to jam when you're young and just like, oh man, like, all right, we're we're doing something instead of
Yeah,
just talking about doing something or something
yeah,
like that.
totally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I felt like I felt a little bit of blood, but it could have been sweat. I don't know. We're gonna find out in editing. Who
Yeah,
cares? It just is. We're all human.
yeah.
Um, what were some genres that piqued your interest early on within just playing music? I mean, even outside of saxophone oriented thing. I mean, like, was Led Zeppelin like a catalyst for you, or was it
No,
just something that you it was
no, it
something
was
that you just ended up playing?
definitely like the guitarist's favorite fucking band.
Sure.
So he
Drummer
introduced
too.
me to Led Zeppelin. Yeah, yeah, he introduced me to Led Zeppelin, which was awesome because I didn't really fucking know. And then I think the start of high school, it was totally like the fucking like emo screamo shit, you know. Like I must admit, like that shit was really, I connected, I guess, with it.
Being
And then after,
angsty, being
yeah, yeah,
young.
yeah, yeah, like they're pissed, I'm pissed, cool. And then in I think junior year, um, my friend Victor and also my friend Arturo, they started introducing me to like artier bands like Deerhoof, Blonde Redhead. Um, and then Arturo introduced me to like Flying Loonbachers, like Minutemen, Mick Bar, and more outside, not mainstream music. And I think I took to that like right away. I was like, what the fuck is this?
You
You
said
can
this
make,
is in Led Zeppelin. What the heck? I don't want to listen.
yeah,
Turn this
yeah.
shit off. That's what you
Yeah,
said,
where's
huh?
the groove? I don't get it. But yeah, that totally opened up my mind. And then in college, later on, I started listening to more like jazz stuffs, like Sonny Rollins. And then eventually that led into John Zorn, which I know is a really generic fucking character to latch onto, but he was making sounds with the saxophone that I've never heard before. And then yeah, and then that was it. And it was just like an internet hole. But
Just
shout out to all the fucking blogs. I don't know if blogs exist anymore, but I found so much shit from blogs.
That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like they're still around, but they're not as popular
Yeah.
as they once were.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of on you, Patrick. You left it. It's still there. You
True.
just
I still use SoulSeek though, so
like, I don't even know about that one, but you know what? They're gonna be a sponsor. We're gonna reach out to them later on, so we fine.
yeah, please.
If not, though, if they don't pay me, that's just gonna be edited out. We're just gonna bleep.
Yeah,
bleep
I don't
it.
even think they have money to survive, to be honest. Like yeah,
Well,
doesn't matter.
they better have the payment. That's what I'm saying. Or we're just gonna say that you said a nasty curse word. So yeah,
Yeah.
like a swear. And I don't like fucking swearing on this thing. So
No.
yeah, we're gonna.
I got you on that. Don't worry. Don't you fucking worry about that.
So what kind of music were you trying to make when you started making your own sort of music? Were you like, okay, like I'm inspired by all these things? Was it I mean, and it was still relatively based around the sax at that point?
I think it was more about drums. I played more drums than, or trying my best to play drums. But I think I was more, the whole like just creating something aspect was really cool. And just being with people who listen to the same shit was really awesome. So this band Otomoto was my first band, and we were just making like jams, and that was like super fun. And then later on, I joined Corima, which Paco, who was on the show, he was on.
Good
And that,
episode. Please go listen to it. It was
shout out Paco. Yes.
fantastic.
And then just being in that world and playing more, and then also Dylan, who was also on, we went to high school together, and we play in like so many different like free jazz and free improvised on groups. We have like a duo that we would write like little sax drum compositions and, you know, freak out. But I feel like now I'm more of a go-getter, I guess, right? Like I will like ask people if they want to play and then make the group. Whereas before, I think I was like asking to be joined, like to join another group, you know? But yeah, it was, I don't know. I still love the whole creating and, you know, playing with like-minded people. Like, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. By the way, I gotta say this before we start moving on. Also, go listen to Dylan's. That was also a good one. I don't want to play favorites here.
That's
Paco,
right. No.
Dylan, and
Yes.
re-listen to this one with Patrick because it's gonna be awesome and it's gonna be definitely re-listenable. I'll be re-listening to it.
Definitely re-listen to this one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Back it up. I think we're a couple minutes in now, so just back it up from the beginning. We need those views up, and by we, I mean
just
me.
loop the first 10 minutes or whatever the fuck this is. Just that's all. Just
I think we're actually done here. We're done. Patrick,
right, pleasure. See you later. Yeah.
No, that is really cool though that you're like all right, I'm just gonna wait in the wings. I might be more proactive, but then just starting to do something that I feel like a lot of people have that issue. I even outside of music, obviously, but especially in music, it's like, okay, like I gotta make this first step, and then it doesn't become easier, but at least you did the first step and you can look back like, all right, I started, so let me just keep on going.
Totally.
Yeah, very, very important. Was saxophone the first instrument though? Just I mean across the board. I know you said you dabbled in drums and I know you do some other stuff now.
Piano was the first.
Ooh.
My parents put me a piano at 5 years old. Like a good child. And I mean, I'm glad they did now. I definitely fought them, you know. Yeah.
Because the angst, because of that bad music that you were listening to before.
Yeah. Also, I just wanted to watch TV. I was like, I don't want to play this 10 times. There's 30 minutes. Like I could be watching, you know, The Simpsons are almost on, you know?
Man, and I mean, talk about longevity just in general. The Simpsons, like,
yo, how many seasons?
I think like 33. I want to say, I could be wrong about that number, but I'm pretty sure it's like in the third. I mean, like it's like 89. So, you know,
that's crazy. Shout out The Simpsons.
It's wild. People don't like it anymore though. The people were into it, and then I feel like it's really dipped down in viewership.
I feel like there's just too much it's like music. There's so much out there. And then, you know, when you get like Netflix backing, that's all you're gonna fucking hear about. Like, fucking Ozark, fucking Bling Empire. It's like, oh shit, maybe I should watch Bling Empire.
What are you currently watching right now? If you're watching anything.
I sadly am watching Ozark. Fucking awesome. We just finished fucking the new season of Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah.
Insane. What else? I just saw Mayor of Easttown. HBO too, fucking rules. Have you seen Tokyo Vice?
No, what is that on HBO?
HBO. It's like a detective thing. I love detective things. It's also in Japan, and they actually have Japanese people acting in it.
Dope.
So I really fuck with that.
That's rad. Has somebody ever been like, oh, you gotta watch this, and then it ended up being shit, and somebody just said that just because it's like the popular thing to say?
No, I've gotten pretty strong recommendations.
Okay, that's good, because it depends on the source of the recommendation too. That's like a huge proponent of it.
I mean, I'm sure people have recommended to me things and I fucking forgot. But the homies, you know, when the homies tell me to watch something, I'm probably gonna watch it. You know?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have those people in your corner and be like, you gotta. I know you, and you're gonna like this. You gotta like have people that you don't know you to be recommending these things.
Yeah.
Crucial part of that. And we know that, but this for the viewers. It's not just about music here. It's also about just life. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little tips and tricks.
Your friends give you bad recommendations, cut them out. They're not your real friends.
No. They're not good. They're not good friends. They're not good people. No. They're sending you in the wrong direction. You listening to those losers, all right? It's not good. I have been given some bad recommendations. I'm like, I'm not saying it's a bad show, but it's just not for me. Like, I just don't like this. And maybe I'm not the key demographic. I don't know what the intended audience is. Maybe it's not me. That's fine. Not everything has to be tailored to my whatever
I mean, it
taste.
should be. It should be.
It should be, but it's not. I mean, I don't know. I'll get in there. Netflix. Let's do some revamping. You know,
Yeah.
Ozark. I
Yes.
haven't watched it. Jason Bateman though. I know he's in it.
It's pretty dark, but it's I fuck with it.
What I've seen, because my family has been watching, especially my parents, and every time I see it, it's like quite literally like dark. Like the lighting is like very dark. If you have a glare on your TV, I don't think it's gonna work out because it's gonna be very what's going on.
Yeah, I tried to watch it this morning with my window open. I was like, I can't see what's happening.
You gotta. I don't know. It's not that you have to pull some curtains; it's that they have to, shine some light. What? How expensive is lights? I mean, what?
I mean, very expensive. I think
$1,000 per minute. What? Okay,
they have that money. They could do it.
You have the money. I don't know. And then the whole Netflix is a joke thing with Chappelle. I mean, I don't really get into current topics, but getting attacked.
Yeah.
This just happened real recently. What do you think about this Monica Lewinsky scandal thing? What's going on with that? What's your views on it? Do you think Clinton really had sex with her?
He said he did, right?
He said he didn't though, too.
Oh, he said he didn't. That's right. He said he didn't, but then I don't fucking know. He plays a saxophone.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's one of your buddies. You said that. That was
I believe him.
I don't know. If he wasn't as good at the saxophone, I don't think anybody would buy that story.
He looks pretty. There's a picture of him with a hat on, I think, and he looks pretty cool.
He went on Arsenio, right? And he played. He tooted that horn, right?
I don't know. I can't tell you that, but
I think so. I think there's a video of him on Arsenio Hall.
Watch that. I'm gonna watch it too. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how good your recommendation is.
Yeah, that's the recommendation. It's just Bill Clinton on Arsenio Hall in like whatever. 96. Anyways, all right. Off of the Arsenio Hall in presidents. At that point when you started making music, where were you kind of performing around at the time? Was there certain venues that you'd go to?
Yeah, we did a lot at like the Smell downtown and Pear Space. A lot of these like all ages venues, which I frequented, in high school, and I'm very grateful to those two spots just for, making safe spaces for, people under 18 to see like weird shit. Smell's still going. Pear Space is curating again, and I think that's, I'm excited that those spaces are still around for like the next generation of like punk kids, to hear weird shit. So
super important for like all age venues.
Yeah.
I don't think that's lost, but there's not like there's not as many as there should be, I feel like,
I don't think so, but also with like venues, I think a lot folded, in the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, to my knowledge, I'm older now, and I feel like the pandemic has made me not as active as going out, as I used to be, but I feel like it's still recovering, as far as like DIY spots, places that will have, music and shit. We'll see,
Sure. We're still in the swing back kind of stage of it.
Totally.
I got high hopes though, so
I do too. I think I think the DIY community will always survive in one way or another. I think always there'll be venues closing. I think new venues will always be popping up. That's what makes it so beautiful.
It's an interesting cycle in that. It's like, oh, is that whatever? Even like, venue still around. It's like, no, but there's something else that's right down the street or that has taken over that
equivalent
space.
Yeah, totally.
It's interesting turning of the tide there.
Yeah,
in terms of that. But so you're going to these all age venues, and at that point, was it just saxophone, or were you doing like a drum sax kind of deal, or?
I'm doing some drum stuff. It was mostly saxophone, I think. At that point, I think with Corima, and just doing some free improv stuff. And then I joined this band Upsilon, acrux, and I played Rhodes and a little bit of sax in that, and that was awesome. Yeah, Yeah.
And you're originally from LA, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought you said college. Is like, did he just move out there for college? He just stayed out there.
Yeah. No, I went to college in Orange County,
Where did you? What was the college that you attended? You down
Chapman
here?
University.
Whoa, expensive.
I needed a scholarship to go. My dad told me straight up, he's like, if you lose the scholarship, you're fucking out because we can't pay for it. And I was like, word. I'm gonna, yeah, party just a little bit.
Yeah, just around the circle a little bit. I'll do a few laps around the circle and I'll go back.
Circle, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
So
I know what's going on over there.
you do, yeah. So anyways, I would drive back to LA like on the weekends or like, you know, shows and stuff, just because, you know, the smell and airspace and everything was here. Drive down and drive back, you know.
What was the scholarship in? What was the title of it?
Smart boy. I don't know.
Good. Yeah. It's a hard one to get into.
Yeah. There's, you know, the competition is,
it's intense. It's very hard. It's very I mean, Chapman alone is a very, like, you know, you gotta fight to get in there, but to get the good boy scholarship, ooh.
Come on, baby.
The GPS, that's a hard one to get into. Yeah. So what was the? I mean, you graduated. I know you did, because that's what good boys do, obviously.
Yep.
What was the degree in?
I double majored in music therapy and classical guitar performance with a minor in psychology.
Wow. Right on.
I use all of those not that much in my current life, but you know.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I mean, did you enjoy the time here? I mean, obviously not, because you were just going back to LA as soon as possible.
You know, it was good. It was good. So when I originally applied, I was just doing music therapy. My idea was to add on saxophone when I got there. When I got there, and you know, as I said, I thought it was hot shit. I get there, was not hot shit. Got discouraged, and I didn't add that on. And then eventually, we had to do guitar for music therapy, and the professor was like, "You should major in guitar. Like, you could totally do it." And this program was small, and I was like, yeah, okay, fuck it, yeah. I did it, and it was brutal, but you know, it was cool. But I'm glad, you know, in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't major in saxophone. Looking back, I think it would have technically made me a stronger player, but I hear a lot of stories of people, you know, going to school for like a specific thing, and then it really changes how they play, right? And you know, I think for some people it definitely works, you know, but I think, you know, for some experimental stuff and avant-garde things, it can really go either way. So for me, I'm glad I didn't do that, and I did guitar instead. But yeah, it was cool. There's a group of people that, you know, I still hang out with, and you know, we go to each other's weddings and shit, so you know, that's tight. If awesome. I go on tour to like different cities, like, you know, if someone's there, they'll like let me sleep on their couch, and you know, so that was really nice.
That is
part of it.
Paying for a hotel room. That's it's rough. Yeah, or a campsite even. Just yeah. It's
no, I'm not. I'm too old for camping. I can't do that shit.
Camping's fun, dude. It depends. It depends on where you go.
Maybe
at the beach. Beach camping's always fun.
Beach camping is very fun. I will agree with you on that.
In Orange County. Just to be clear. Do you feel like if you did have a strong like focus on playing the saxophone in college, do you think that would have changed your relationship with it as well?
I think so.
And I mean, like, would it have impacted where you are today?
I think so. Wow. I think so.
So you should have done it, and you should have hated it, and then just
look at me. I'm just playing fucking DIY venues still at 35. Good job, me.
We're gonna set up a chain reaction show for you. It's gonna be all right.
Actually, I played chain reaction one time, but it was a pay to play shit, you know?
Yeah.
And we were so excited, like, we're playing chain reaction. The guy's like, you have to sell blah 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 tickets, and we're like, we can't fucking. No, we have extra. Like, what do we do? It's like, well, you gotta fucking pay for them. I think we paid for it. And I think remembering like, teenage me was like, this is awesome. And then later on I was like, what a fucking joke. Like, fuck pay to play, man.
Yeah.
But
That's rough.
also, you got to learn one way or another. So also I've been to a bunch of shows at Chain Reaction, and they were fucking awesome.
Yeah. It depends. It just depends. That's it.
Yeah.
And its simplicity.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the most odd location, non-conventional location that you've either recorded or played music in?
Odd. I
Yeah.
did record my first 2 solo records at the chapel at Chapman University. And they let me do it for free because I was a student or, just graduated. Shout out them for letting me
But you
complete it.
did have to pay for tickets for people to attend, though. That's a stipulation.
Yeah. I'm definitely sure that I scared them because, the chapel's super reverberant, which is why I want to record there. And the offices are right there. But there are a couple, takes where it was like very harsh noise sounding things. And they let me do it,
Because of that scholarship.
Because they knew I was a good boy.
Yeah.
They're like, all right.
Somebody from the office was about to, I had something to turn down. Wait, hold on. He's a good boy. In regards to non-conventional places to recording, that's where we left off.
That's right.
At the good Chapman University. Proud sponsor of the podcast is the university. Is there anywhere that you think that you'd like to record an album or perform that's like not a conventional space? Has there ever been like an idea like, oh, that would be cool to record something there?
I've gotten a lot of opportunities this past or couple I gotta respond to them. A couple weekends ago, I recorded in like this kind of abandoned silo thing, which was had pretty cool reverb.
I saw the video, man. That
was sick. I did during COVID times find this parking lot underneath like that was super reverberant. Incredible. Like a dream that I had for a long time was to record in like a missile silo. Just for like the reverb to bounce back, but this parking lot was exactly what I wanted and imagined, so I recorded a duo album that's coming out on vinyl I think this year.
Awesome.
And then I recorded like a solo thing which I'm kind of sitting on, but the reverb was incredible.
That's really cool. Have you heard of that great musician Greg Kowalski before? Yeah, he performed in it was some like, I want to say silo, but that's not what it was. We talked about it when he was on the podcast. It was in Marin County up there, like by San Francisco. And like wild stuff. It was like decommissioned. It wasn't like active. It was something that was set up for like World War II. Like if somebody like invaded, like it would just be like wild stuff. So you and Greg Kowalski, that's who the other person is. That's a duo that you're sitting on right now. That's the album. Cool. That's gonna be awesome.
How'd you know? Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm privy. I'm on the pulse of it. So yeah,
I think I would like to do something maybe at I don't know, maybe at like Manzanar or something. Just to do it might be cool, but yeah, I don't really know any other places.
Maybe on like just a street of New York. That'd be cool.
I mean, I've played on the street of New York. It was tight.
No, we're recording a full album, full mixing board, everything there.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah, but I mean, you got the money. It's fine. I'll give you the money. I just told you I have the money.
Okay, give me the Chapman money and then I'll do it. I'll do whatever you want.
Okay,
I'll record whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm me executive producer. I'm reallocating funds.
Yeah, exactly.
To the universities.
Yeah.
Of Orange County. Yeah.
Good deal.
I'm sitting on a lot of money, so yeah, we got to really disperse this.
Good.
Yeah, it's time.
I got ideas.
And I got the money, so we're gonna. That's just
teamwork.
There it is, right there.
Teamwork.
Do you do anything to prepare or to warm up for a performance?
I try and like get my heart rate down. I found that if like I'm nervous or I'm like speeding to get to something, then my performance is like fucked up. Um, Also, I have like a glass of whiskey or something, if it's in the nighttime.
Loosen it up, loosen up
Yeah.
the vocal cords.
Yeah. I mean, I get nervous before I play every single time for sure. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's just nervousness, but that's good though.
Yeah. I think
I mean,
so.
would you really not just feel anything? You're like, here it is.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
That would take the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Just imagine just like, yeah, I just played, Madison Square Garden.
I mean, I'm sure there are people who are like that though, or who've done it so many times where it's like, okay, fuck it. Or if it's your job, possibly. I don't know.
That would be wild. How many different projects are you in currently?
Currently, I mean, I guess I have like one band that's pretty active. Like we rehearse every week, but everything else is just like free improvised stuff. Like someone will ask me to play, or I'll try and wrangle something together and go about it that way. But yeah, I guess one working group right now.
Is it centered in improvisation as well?
It's structured, so it's kind of like in the brutal prog kind of realm. It's called Ortsmog with Mark Kimbrell, incredible drummer. But we make like, it's also a sax drum duo, but I put my sax through guitar pedals and then out of the amp. But yeah, it's very like super structured music. We've been dabbling with some improv sections as well, but a lot of it, I think like 95% of it is with intent.
Wow. Do you prefer to perform? I mean, it's obviously good to get both sides of it, but do you prefer to play more improvisational, experimental?
I feel like at this
music?
point in my life, it's like it's really exciting. A lot of times it's with people who I've just met or like from out of town or from out of country. And playing with something new makes you unlock something new playing wise, I think, because you don't want to just do your own thing. Or for me, I don't want to just do my own thing. I want to like react off of what the other person's doing. And especially like in a live context where we're playing for people, like I think you're more aware of what's happening, and then maybe like, oh, I played something that I usually wouldn't have done if I was by myself, right? And then try and remember that and then develop that at home or in future shows and stuff. So I think it's a great, I'm very privileged to have these opportunities so I could keep things interesting and develop my playing.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, I think so.
I said that really softly. I said that really. It's actually that's really important. Turn into NPR real quick.
Yeah.
Real soft
Yeah.
landing on that.
Often.
Anyways, getting back to it. Gotta balance it out. Much like yourself, you gotta do the both the opposites.
Yes.
Exactly. What is it about improvisation that excites you?
I think in any of the aspects of how you do it, right? There are no real rules, and so you're able to fully like express yourself in that way. And for me, saxophone, with the breathing and everything, I feel like I am able to say what I need to say through it. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who improvise, and I think even just listening to what's recorded, there's a lot of shit happening, and it's cool to kind of listen to what others are trying to do or are doing, and what I'm trying to do. I did this thing a long time ago, 2012, where I was like, I'm gonna write and release like a solo record every year, just because I want to not see it as like wow, look at this, but more like as a timestamp in that year of what I was trying to accomplish and what my ideas were, and like some of it is definitely shit. But looking back on it now, like so far removed, I'm like, oh, I could see what I was going for then. And like now I could see it how that is still in my practice now, but more developed. And, you know, I don't know if I'll ever record or release something that's like perfect or that I'm completely happy with, but I think with improvised music, like that's not necessarily the goal, right? I think it is just like seeing where you were in that decade or year or whatever. And, you know, I think it's the development. Like there's a lot of older musicians that are in this field, you know, um, that are still like developing their sound. And I think that's exciting and fun for, you know, the listener and as a musician.
It's always evolving. It's never just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
and this is what the music that I make, and that's it. Like,
yeah,
this is what I'm known for. It's always expanding.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you feel the most? Is that when you feel the most free? Like within music, is like when you're just improving with somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think I do feel free also in like the bands, you know, like in Ortsmog when I was playing in Upsilon and Corima and In the Womb and everything and Nakata. I guess that's more improv, but I think when we were writing together, I also felt very free and not like held back or anything, you know, like I think they were also, everyone in the bands were very forward thinking also. And so, you know, we would try shit that we didn't, you know, in the previous song. And that was exciting. You know, the only difference is that trying to execute it exactly how we wrote it compared to like creating in the moment. So yeah.
Yeah. Is it in your own personal work, is that all improvised when you're putting it down on the record?
I think, yeah, for most part, some of them now, like I'll have like a melody or something that I want to kind of build off of. But this record that I'm finishing up right now, it was like based on like improvised stuff, but the ideas were based off of two tours that I did. So one was like opening for Godspeed. And so I kind of wrote some material that I thought would fit that, you know. Um, and so like there was a structure which was mostly improvised, but there was still like a layout. And so I just carried that layout onto, you know, this recorded version. And um, I think I dabble in both of those worlds. Like some recordings are completely improvised, and some others have, you know,
More structure, or but at
Yeah,
least like
yeah,
bones to it, and it's like
correct.
there's a through line, but there's also just ways to get there.
Yeah, yeah.
When you perform those songs live, are you trying to play it to the, I mean, or at least the ones with like some like loose skeleton in there, are you trying to follow that through line when you're bringing that to a stage to perform it?
I think so. I mean, in these other tours, definitely. I think there was definitely intent. Um, and sometimes I'll, you know, play other shit that I didn't the night before. And that's what makes that, you know, for me exciting. Like the improv parts, but also like, you know, I know I want to play in the beginning, you know, I know like this is a point that I want to hit in the middle, and then this ending is kind of set. But everything else in the middle is, you know, however I want to go through. And I think it works out. You know?
I mean, a guy with the GBS, I mean, it's gonna work out,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, I hope so,
It,
you know. Yeah.
it always works out for the good boys, and
Yeah.
that's the rule.
That's
just
the rule.
That's just the rule.
That's the rule.
Are you just trying to continuously find new sounds within the music that you're creating? Is that a large part of it as well?
I think it's definitely something that I keep in mind. I think a lot of what I'm doing now these days, as far as like solo work is concerned, is either voicing my so I feel like music for me helps process what happens in my daily life or experiences or whatever. So a lot of it is, you know, what happened with the Asian Americans, you know, what happened when I dove in with my grandfather and the concentration camps when he was in, and, you know, what's happening if like a friend passes away or like a family member. And so for a lot of that, the solo stuff is just processing that, and then whatever comes out comes out. And then as far as improvising with people, I think that's when, like you mentioned, is like sounds and like reacting off of them, and creating something that is unique with that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Different kind of parts, moving parts, but then all accumulating into one song. Like you get a splash of this, a splash of that, and
Yeah.
it culminates into the song.
Totally.
I get what you're about, Patrick. I'm following you. Do you ever find it difficult to find your next move within an improvised song? Do you ever like feel like stuck, like I don't know where to go from here, or is it usually just like very, just like free, and it's like
when I'm playing, you mean?
Live or even a recording, but usually in the aspect, what I'm asking about is the aspect of live. And I know that was a long way to get around to what I was talking about, but we gotta fill up this time with something.
Yeah, no, totally. I think for live, especially if it's playing with someone else, I think even if I feel that way, the whoever I'm playing with will be doing something else, and I could play off of that, and like whenever I play improvised stuff, I like to usually not even play for like the first 5 minutes, so I could hear what they're doing, like, get a grasp of what they're going for, and then diving in, meshing with them. Maybe I'll take the lead, maybe they'll take the lead, drop out, when I used to first play improvised music, I was really intent of always filling the space, like always playing notes, always playing many notes, always playing much sound, playing a lot of sound. But now it's more, it's
let it linger, let it, if it
dips, like
let it dip.
Space is also, what you're contributing. It doesn't always have to be, things that you're doing. Yeah, exactly. So, I think I'm glad I came to that realization.
Yeah, that's difficult. I also feel like in like art, it's like more. It's like, well, sometimes just reel it back. It's like less.
Yeah. There's this Japanese.
I mean, it's just two good boys chatting.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
We're talking about good things. There's this improviser, this Japanese improviser, and he had this record, like an hour-long record, and it was live. And he was playing. I remember the first time I listened to it, like he would leave like huge gaps of silence in between like some sections, but it was one continuous thing. I remember I first heard it, like, is this CD fucking like broken? Like, what's fucking going on? And it wasn't until like later on I was like, oh, this is like an intentional thing that he did. But I remember that record really fucked with me because I was like, what? Like,
is it skipping? What is it? Did I?
Yeah. Did I get a defect?
Yeah.
I just pay money and get shit.
I went to Tower Records, and this is
what I get. Shout out Tower Records.
Was that your go-to place as a youth to get physical copies?
Yeah, totally. Bunch of CDs. Best Buy and Tower.
Best Buy.
Best fucking buy.
The Best Buy. I was gonna say Best Buy, but I was like, nah, I'll throw in a Tower.
Yeah. Yep.
Should have done Best Buy. It would have landed. It would have landed. Yeah.
When's the next time you can shout out Best Buy and get it right?
I'll add ads in between, so I think I think we are scheduled for one coming up. So I'll just put it right in there. So you actually just set me up with a good transition there.
I do what I can for good boys,
Yeah. Good boys looking out for good boys. That's what it is. Regarding group settings and working solo, do you find that you get more ideas when you're just kind of on your own figuring out stuff, or is it with like a group of people that you're like, oh, okay, like that would be good, copy that to put it somewhere else?
Yeah. I think it depends. I think it's a combination for sure. I know that playing in front of people really changes how I play. I feel like improvising at home by myself, but playing in front of people really changes, I guess, how hard I go, you know? Yeah. And I just need 10 people in the audience. If I get 10 people, that's good. If it's under 10, it starts to fuck with me. I was like, oh God, like, what am I doing?
I thought you were gonna
10
say
people
I
with
need
it.
10 people to play with, and then I was like, shit, dude, this is a whole ass orchestra.
I do have a 10-person group that I'm a part of,
Wow.
and it is fucking awesome. They're all like super deep homies. I love them all, and we've done, I think, 3 or 4 performances, and we released like a couple tapes and a CD. But yeah, it's awesome.
Wow. That's some, I mean, you really do explore both ends. Like, I'll do it fucking solo, I'll do it with 10 fucking people
Yeah,
and everything in the middle.
you know,
Man of many
I'm very
hats.
lucky. I'm very lucky that, you know, all of them said yes, and they're
That's
into.
hard. That must be so hard to like
Yeah,
schedules and everything. I mean, it's hard to do. I mean, scheduling with even like a just one person to get coffee or something like that, let alone
yeah, totally.
10 people to perform.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a really special thing. Which also, I didn't really thought about that, but like these philharmonics and whatnot, like it's like you better be here. Like
But they're
we need
also
that
getting
French horn.
paid. They're getting paid good money. That's
I
their
mean,
day job.
but still though, it's like sometimes people had a few much, too many to drink the night before, and then they just call in
No,
sick.
those Philharmonic people, for sure, they will not. For sure. They are playing some insane ass things and it has to be all perfect. No, I don't think so. I don't think they even drink. I don't even think they have fun. I don't know.
No fun. No, those are the people who went and then they pursued whatever it was. They like
Yeah.
got a degree in
They're
whatever it was.
actual masters of the instrument.
Yeah.
You know.
The funds run out of it. Yes, I will do these big orchestral pieces because I don't like to have fun anymore.
Yo, I would play in the Philharmonic.
Well, there we go.
But there are no saxophones in Philharmonic, so I'm fucked either way.
We're new wave stuff, right?
New wave Philharmonic.
You think that fellow Cootie was like, oh, there's no way I can implement horns into this thing. No, he just did it. He just improvised, all right?
So I'm just gonna have to write a symphony with saxophones. What you're telling me to do?
Yeah. It doesn't seem like you're doing anything else. What, you have like 9 different bands, and I mean, one of them is a freaking 10-piece.
Yeah, I got it. You're right. Shit.
You got time. I mean, you're sitting on 2 albums. You're constantly recording. Yeah. You obviously have free time to just,
you're right.
Indulge in this stuff. I have the money, Patrick. I think when you're go in your car to drive somewhere, or you're sitting at home, what do you put on to listen to? What's the kind of like or at least right now, a recent go-to?
It depends. It depends. I am in a big
Led Zeppelin phase.
It just never left. In a good like metal phase right now. But I was really into I had a really good like hip hop phase that I still dabble. I mean, that's the problem. There's just so much good music in all the genres, and
the Ozark soundtrack too. I know you're a big fan of that.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, so sometimes I struggle and I spend my entire ride trying to decide on what I'm going to listen to.
And in silence.
To work, I'm like, well, shit, I listen to 20 minute of 20 songs and cool. Yeah. What am I doing?
It's a good remix of all those songs.
Yeah.
What is, and I know this is hard, so if you don't have an answer for this, I understand. What is your favorite and all right. Next question. What is your favorite combination of just two people, like you playing sax and somebody else playing another instrument? What is the best, or what is your favorite kind of combination to play, like whether it be drums or guitar?
I think it's gonna be drums. I think it's drums. I mean, I have 2 sax drum duos. My favorite Coltrane record is Interstellar Space, which is just him and the drummer. I just think that there is this a nice intimacy, as well as different directions you can go. Drums are so there's so many different places drums can go. it could propel the music forward, determines the tempo, right, or no tempo. It can just join you in like sounds and different tones. And there's just there's nothing better playing with like a rad drummer,
like Dylan.
like
And
Dylan.
I'm pretty sure I had him on the podcast. I want to say I did, and if I did, please go and listen to that.
Yeah, check it out. Listen through all of them. I don't know.
Interview.
Listen to one by one, and maybe you'll find out.
Yeah. It's not like it was really recent. Yes, we had to go really way back in order to find that thing. Yeah, he's an incredible drummer for sure.
Best.
Yeah,
he's the best.
And a very nice guy. Also,
very nice, very funny,
very
fit.
I think I would say so. Yeah, I mean, like I've seen like thrash and do all these
Dylan
different
is
things.
the most fit of my friends for sure.
Whoa, that's a big. Now, okay, let me ask you this: do you trust his recommendation on a TV show or movie? Wait, by the way, Dave, not Dave, the Dave Cho show. Go listen to that because he orchestrated all that music. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
So that's what he would be recommending to you, and he'd be right to do so because it's a good soundtrack and it's
yeah. I think I played a little bit of clarinet or flute or something on one of the songs.
Of course, you had to mention it. Of course, you had to. Self-promotion.
You brought it up. You brought it up.
I didn't bring it up.
Just chiming in.
Yeah. I guess that's what the guest has to do. It's mostly about me, but sure. Yeah. If you have to get your ideas out there.
Try, I'm only on here for an hour or something, so I got to make it count.
Yeah, you got to, yeah. You got to plug your stuff. I understand.
Plug it all.
Self-marketing. Very important. Is there a duo that you'd like to try out, like saxophone and something else that you haven't had the opportunity to yet?
A dream duo would be with fucking KG Hino. That would be sick.
All right. Sorry, fucking sick, right? That's what you said.
Yeah. Not just sick, fucking sick.
There's a difference.
Yeah. Reach out to him for me and let me know what he says.
No, he listens.
Thank you. Great.
We get there's pathways. It's fine.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, I mean, we touched upon this earlier on, that there's all these different albums are like time stamping a certain point within it. Do you feel like once it's put out onto like an album that's just done, or do you still implement those same tactics? It's a continuous thing. It's like, yeah, okay, like I did like a lot of like you said, like I experimented with like silence on this.
Yeah.
You're not just done with using silence. It's like you're still going to incorporate that onto the next.
Yeah, into the arsenal of options of things I can do. I think I early on was I struggled with putting something out, how people will be receptive to it, like if people will fuck with it, if it's any good, it's going to take up space. And I think who fucking cares? I mean, of course I care, but in the larger scheme of things, I'm like, I think it's better to put it out, be done with it, and then move on to the next thing, right? So you could try something else. And if it's bad, oopsie.
Whatever. The next album.
Yeah, oopsie. Coming out soon.
That's style of it. I like it.
Yeah, thank you. It's catchy, right?
Yeah.
I think, I don't want to repeat myself. I think I do want to always keep pushing it in my sound, and if it's a combination of things I've done in the past, like do it better. And I think I have some things to say, and I think when I don't have anything to say, I'll probably just stop releasing music. Because what's the point?
Sure.
But I think right now, there's things that I'm very vocal about, or I think should be very vocal, and so I think I'm gonna continue as far as I have that in me.
Awesome. No. That's awesome. How did it feel to be included in Los Angeles Times? Like, is it 100 best songs of 2021?
yeah, that was kind of surreal.
I mean, and Kendrick Lamar's on there, and like, I mean, all these different. It's interesting that they kind of shine some light on some lesser known artists. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was it felt very crazy. Shout out Randall for listening to the music and including it on the list. But that was really insane. And I told my parents about it. They were hyped, you know. I think with a lot of the music that I make, they don't really understand. And so, you know, when like the LA Times thing is cool because they understand what that is, you know.
They read it there and they have read it. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
they know what it is.
I know that name.
Yeah, exactly. Like me, Paco, and Dylan, actually, the three of us, we did a trio and we played at the Mocha in downtown, you know, and I made them come and they're like, oh, we get it because it's the Mocha. You know, I know what that is. It's like a fucking museum, big ass museum institution. And that was cool for them to kind of be like, oh, maybe he's not just like dicking around.
The Chapman University is well worth it.
Yeah, exactly. You paid all this money. Good. He's still a good boy. Excellent.
Yeah, he is.
You know?
There it is.
Yeah. So that was cool. Yeah. I, you know, maybe I won't ever get on it again, but that was a really cool thing to be on, you know, once in a lifetime for sure.
This year's the next year, so I think that I see some good stuff coming up, Patrick. I do. I feel it. So it's gonna happen. Because I control the media. That's just what it is. I'm behind all the podcasts.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, I'm glad we're talking then, because damn.
Yeah. Powerful men. Powerful good boys here. Patrick, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
And I'd like to wrap it up with some promo. No, please correct me if I have the name of the newest album. Hidemi. Okay. I was really contemplating that. I was like, but I wanted to be okay. Yeah. Word. Okay. And where can the people go get at the Bandcamp? Is it the best place?
Yeah, probably Bandcamp's the best. Okay. I think that record's in stores and things like that.
I keep on seeing it, man. It's hot. It's everywhere. People
I mean, it took a long time to become real. Mm-hmm. Final delays are just fucking insane, but it's coming. It's here now, which is great. Yeah. And can people go to the Bandcamp to like explore the other records as well, and you have merch up there as well, right? Yeah, there's a lot of music, probably overwhelmingly too much, but you know. And you're streaming everywhere, right? Spotify, Apple. I think so, most of it. Yeah. Pandora. We're going to say yes. Yeah. Yes, you are. After, yeah. You know, you probably download it off Kazaa if you still have it. You know. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everywhere. Just on radio, he's there too, so you can't actually escape him, so it's hard. Sorry, y'all. Top 100 songs of 2001. I say 2001. Oh, 2001. I wish. And where's the so the best way is from Bandcamp. That's the best place to go support you directly, and that'll be in the bio. So please go check that out and go visit that link, because it's definitely well worth it. Also, if you want to see this stuff live, there's plenty of videos on YouTube. Very cool of you and Dylan doing stuff, and like other people. I'm not too privy to, so I can't really say their names. Also, I don't want to because they're not on the podcast. Not worth my time. Yeah, but definitely go check that out on YouTube for the live performances. Very, very cool. And Patrick, did I miss anything? Nope, that's it, man. Thank you so much for having me. But follow you on Instagram. That's the best place to keep up to date with this new album that you're trying to put out. Yeah. Yep. Cool. That's it's also going to be linked. Is there any underscores, or is it? No, just my name. Yeah. Cool. All right. Cool. Okay. Do we miss anything? No. All right. Just a couple good boys. Oh, mahalo, dude. That's okay. All right, Patrick. I'll talk to you in a minute, dude. Thank you so much.